Ladies and gentlemen, faith is the key that unlocks the door to your God-given potential. It's the force that propels you into the greatness that has been laid out for you before you even took your first breath. Many of us go through life unsure of our purpose, uncertain of our abilities, and overwhelmed by the challenges we face. But let me tell you something, faith changes all of that. Faith allows you to see beyond your circumstances, to trust in the truth that God has already placed within you the seeds of greatness. Faith is not just belief, it is knowing with every fiber of your being that God has called you for something extraordinary. When you have faith, you are not simply walking through life blindly. No, you are walking with the assurance that you are walking in alignment with a divine purpose. The path ahead of you is not a random series of steps. It is a well-crafted plan that God has orchestrated just for you. Faith opens your eyes to this truth. It lets you see beyond the limitations of the world and recognize the limitless potential that resides within you. You were created for something far greater than you have yet to see, and faith will help you discover that. But faith is not passive. Faith moves you to action. When you truly believe, you don't just sit back and wait for your destiny to unfold. No, faith compels you to step forward, to take risks, to act on the vision that God has given you. You begin to make moves with the confidence that every step is guided by a divine hand. It's not about waiting for the perfect moment. It's about trusting that with God on your side, you are equipped to handle anything that comes your way. Your faith will drive you to move, to create, to make decisions that align with your purpose, even when the path is unclear. God didn't give you potential just for it to sit there idle. He gave it to you so that you could move forward boldly into the destiny He has already set before you. And yes, you will face challenges. You will encounter obstacles. But this is where faith transforms the game. Faith doesn't make challenges disappear, but it changes the way we view them. When you have faith, obstacles are no longer barriers. They are opportunities to grow, to stretch, and to show the world the greatness that is within you. Every challenge you face is an opportunity for God to show His power in your life. The more you face, the more you grow. The more you overcome, the closer you get to the person you were meant to be. Your faith turns what could be stumbling blocks into stepping stones, and it allows you to see that no challenge is too great when you are walking in God's purpose for your life. Faith also builds resilience. Faith is not about the easy days, it's about standing firm in the hardest moments. There will be days when it feels like everything is falling apart. And it is in those moments that your faith will carry you. Faith is not just about seeing the promise, it's about believing in the promise even when everything around you is shaking. It's about trusting that God is working behind the scenes even when you can't see it. When you operate in faith, you develop the strength to endure, to press forward, and to keep moving toward your destiny no matter what. It's faith that allows you to stand tall when others would have fallen. It's faith that makes you unshakable in the face of adversity. Finally, faith connects you to God's infinite power. You see, your potential is not something that is reliant on your own strength or wisdom. Your true potential is unlocked through your connection to the divine. When you walk in faith, you tap into an unlimited source of power. You tap into the very same power that created the universe. The more you trust, the more you draw on this power, and the more you become the person God designed you to be. Your faith is the bridge that connects you to His purpose, and it is through that connection that you can achieve things beyond your imagination. With God, there is no limit to what you can accomplish. When you have faith, you step into the realm of the impossible, and you realize that with God, all things are possible. So today I encourage you to let faith be the driving force in your life. Believe in the purpose that God has placed within you. Move forward in action, knowing that every step you take is divinely guided. See every challenge as an opportunity for growth and let your resilience shine through. And above all, never forget that your potential is unlocked by your connection to God's infinite power. Faith is the key that opens the door to the greatness you were born to achieve. The question is, will you walk through it? Faith is the foundation upon which everything of significance is built. It is the lens through which we see the world not as it is, but as it can be. And one of the greatest gifts that faith offers us is the ability to recognize our purpose. Now, I'm not talking about a fleeting sense of direction, something that comes and goes based on external circumstances. I'm talking about the deep inner knowing that you are here for something bigger than what meets the eye. Faith opens your heart to the understanding that every moment of your life, every experience, and every challenge is part of the journey toward discovering why you are here. You see, when you have faith, you're not just walking through life aimlessly, reacting to whatever comes your way. No, faith positions you to recognize the unique calling that has been placed on your life. It helps you see beyond the noise of the world, the distractions and the doubts, and it shows you the path that leads to the fulfillment of your divine purpose. It's like a light in the darkness, illuminating the road ahead when you may have thought you were lost. And when you begin to see your life through this lens, you understand that everything, every success, every setback has a role in your personal unfolding. Faith teaches us that our purpose isn't just something that is out there in the future, something we have to search for endlessly. No, it's already within us, planted by the Creator. Faith allows you to realize that the potential you are seeking has already been placed in your heart, mind, and soul. You don't need to look outside of yourself for the answers because the divine blueprint for your life has been written within you from the beginning. The dreams, the talents, the desires you have, they are all part of that blueprint, and faith gives you the courage to trust that blueprint and move forward with boldness. When you have faith, you also gain the strength to rise above the confusion of life's challenges. Life is full of distractions. People will tell you who you should be, what you should do, where you should go. This society will try to shape your identity into a mold that isn't meant for you. But faith, true faith, anchors you in the reality that your purpose is unique and unshakable. It is not based on the opinions of others or the fleeting trends of the moment. It is rooted in something eternal. Faith removes the clutter and helps you hear that still small voice within you that whispers, this is who you are meant to be. It connects you with that divine truth and lets you know that you are more than capable of walking the path that has been designed specifically for you. Faith also unlocks the strength to stay the course. When the road gets tough, when the odds seem insurmountable, faith reminds you of why you're walking in the first place. It gives you a sense of purpose, even when the world around you may seem like chaos. It's not about having all the answers or knowing the entire journey in advance. Faith is trusting that the path, though uncertain, is exactly where you need to be. It's about putting one foot in front of the other with the assurance that every step is leading you closer to the fulfillment of your divine purpose. When you walk with faith, you know that no challenge is too great, no obstacle too high, because your purpose is greater than anything that could ever stand in your way. Finally, the power of faith in recognizing your purpose is rooted in the trust you place in God's plan. Faith is the surrender to the divine wisdom that knows far more than we could ever comprehend. It is the belief that God, who created you, has already equipped you with everything you need to fulfill your purpose. It's a belief that you are not alone in this journey. You are walking alongside the Creator who is guiding, shaping, and equipping you for the greatness He has already placed within you. Faith lets you know that your purpose is not just an individual endeavor. It is a part of a greater story, a story that is being woven into the fabric of the world, a story where your purpose has a profound impact on everything and everyone around you. When you recognize your purpose through faith, you align yourself with something far greater than yourself. You begin to see the world not as a series of random events, but as a beautifully orchestrated plan where your life plays a significant part. Faith helps you see your potential not as something to be discovered in the future, but as something to be activated in the present. It gives you the confidence to live out your purpose right now in every moment with conviction and strength. And when you walk in that purpose, when you recognize it and step into it with faith, you will find the fulfillment, peace, and power that come from living the life you were always meant to live. Faith is not just a passive feeling or a hopeful wish. Faith is a force. It's a catalyst. It's the spark that ignites the fire of action within you. It's the fuel that propels you from where you are now to where you're meant to be. You see, faith isn't about sitting back and waiting for things to happen. It's about stepping forward with the knowledge that you are capable, you are called, and you are equipped to fulfill the purpose that God has placed in your heart. Faith compels you to act, to move, to create. Without faith, we remain stagnant, trapped by the fear of the unknown, hesitant to make a move because we can't see the end of the road. But when faith steps into the picture, the unknown becomes a realm of possibility. Faith shifts your perspective from what if it doesn't work to what if this is exactly what I was meant to do. It shifts your focus from limitations to opportunities. Faith tells you that you don't need to have all the answers, all the resources, or all the clarity. Faith simply requires you to take that first step, knowing that God is already in the process of lining everything up for you. When you trust in God, you are equipped with everything you need to take the next step, and the next, and the next. Faith is like a light in the darkness. You may not see the entire path ahead of you, but you see enough to move forward. The power of faith is in its ability to push us past our doubts, our insecurities, and our hesitations. It calls us to act before we feel ready, before we feel fully equipped, because faith believes that the resources, the wisdom, and the strength will come as you move, as you take action. That's the beauty of faith. It creates momentum. Once you begin moving, once you begin walking out what God has spoken over your life, things start to shift. The doors that seem closed start to open. The roadblocks that once seemed insurmountable suddenly become manageable. But faith doesn't just get you started, it keeps you going. It drives you to continue when you want to quit, to push through the pain when the journey seems too hard, and to stand firm when the world is trying to pull you in 1,000 different directions. Faith is the inner strength that refuses to let you settle for less than God's best for your life. It keeps you focused on the vision, the mission, and the purpose that God has planted in your heart, no matter what external circumstances may try to tell you. When you have faith, your actions are no longer driven by fear or doubt. They are fueled by a deep, unshakable belief that what God has promised will come to pass. Faith pushes you to take the first step, even when the whole staircase is invisible. Faith gives you the courage to keep climbing, even when the steps get steep, and even when others doubt your ability to make it to the top. It's the belief that no matter how difficult the journey, God is with you every step of the way, and He will equip you for everything you face. So I want you to think about this. What is it that you're waiting for? What dreams are sitting dormant because you're waiting for the perfect time, the perfect resources, or the perfect clarity? Understand this: there is no perfect time. There is only now. Faith doesn't wait for the ideal conditions. It acts in the midst of uncertainty. It takes risks. It makes moves. It believes that the God who placed the vision in your heart will not leave you to fail. You were not created to live a life of passivity. You were created to take action, to step boldly into the future God has prepared for you. And faith is the energy that propels you forward. It's the driving force that moves you from where you are to where you need to be. When you activate your faith, you activate the power of God in your life. And when you start moving in faith, there's no telling what you will achieve. Because faith doesn't just move mountains, it moves you to become the person capable of moving those mountains. Now is the time. Activate your faith. Take action. And watch God work in ways you never imagined possible. Faith has a remarkable power to transform the way we perceive and respond to life's challenges. It doesn't promise an easy road or a life free from struggle, but it provides us with a vision and unshakable belief that even in the hardest moments, there is a purpose at work. When you walk by faith, challenges no longer feel like insurmountable obstacles, but instead they become opportunities for growth, for learning, and for stepping into the person God has called you to be. The moment you embrace faith, you shift your perspective. You stop seeing the setback, the failure, the disappointment, or the trial as the end of the road. Instead, you begin to see them as opportunities for God to show His strength in your weakness, His wisdom in your confusion, and His purpose in your pain. The key is not in the challenge itself, but in your response to it. Faith invites you to look beyond the momentary difficulties and to trust that they are preparing you for something greater. Take a moment to think about the challenges you faced in your life. Perhaps they've been financial struggles, relational issues, health battles, or even moments of deep emotional pain. In the natural, these challenges may have seemed overwhelming, and at times they may have even shaken your faith. But when you look back now, I want you to realize something. You didn't just survive them, you grew through them. You learned lessons that could never have been learned in comfort. You developed resilience, character, and wisdom that can only be birthed in the fire of adversity. That is the power of faith. It allows you to see beyond what is happening in the present and to recognize that God is using even the hard times to mold you into something greater. Faith gives you the strength to push through when it feels like the walls are closing in. It doesn't allow you to become paralyzed by fear or discouragement. Instead, it moves you to action. When you walk by faith, you know that your current reality is not your final destination. The difficulties you face today are not your forever story. Faith fuels your determination to keep moving forward, trusting that every setback is a setup for a greater comeback. When you look at challenges through the lens of faith, you also begin to see opportunities for transformation. You realize that every difficulty has the potential to refine you, to help you grow in ways you never imagined. You become more than a conqueror, not because you avoid the storm, but because you learn to thrive in it. Faith empowers you to embrace these difficult seasons as the very instruments that will shape your future. The obstacles you once feared, the struggles that once seemed impossible, become the very things that equip you to walk into your destiny. Faith also helps you to see that you are never alone in your challenges. You don't face them by your own strength. When you lean on God, you are reminded that His power is made perfect in your weakness. It is in those moments of vulnerability that His grace shines through the most. Faith teaches you that you don't have to have all the answers or solutions. What you need is trust in the one who knows the way. As you trust in Him, you find that even the darkest moments hold the seeds of opportunity, growth, and transformation. When you allow faith to transform your challenges into opportunities, you unlock a deeper sense of purpose. You realize that life isn't happening to you, it is happening for you. The challenges you face are not meant to break you, they are meant to refine you. They are opportunities for you to develop strength, resilience, patience, and a deeper trust in God's plan. The more you embrace this mindset, the more you begin to see every difficulty as an opportunity to grow stronger in your faith and closer to your purpose. Faith gives you the courage to rise above, to face the storm with confidence, and to see the light at the end of the tunnel, even when it's obscured by clouds. It challenges you to trust when you cannot see, to move when you don't know where you're going, and to believe when the evidence seems to suggest otherwise. Faith says, keep going. The victory is already yours. What you see as a challenge is just the beginning of the opportunity I have prepared for you. So whatever challenges you are facing right now, know that they are not the end of your story. They are merely the beginning of a new chapter, one in which you will rise, grow, and emerge stronger than ever before. Faith transforms every trial, every obstacle, every struggle into an opportunity to become the person you were always meant to be. Faith is the bedrock of resilience. It is the unseen force that propels us through the toughest of times, the quiet strength that pushes us to stand when every part of us wants to fall. When life becomes challenging and the road ahead seems impossible, it is faith that becomes the anchor that keeps us grounded. It is not just about believing when things are going well. Faith becomes most powerful when everything around us is uncertain, when we are pushed to the edge of our limits, and when we are tempted to give up. It is in those moments that faith shows its true power. The resilience doesn't come from avoiding pain or running from hardship. It comes from the strength to endure, to stay the course, and to face adversity head on. Faith is what allows you to keep moving even when you're exhausted. It is faith that whispers in your ear when the world tells you to quit, reminding you that the promise ahead is greater than the pain you are enduring. With faith, you understand that the struggles of today are shaping the strength of tomorrow. You don't look at challenges as setbacks. Instead, you see them as training grounds for your growth, as opportunities to deepen your resolve and reinforce the foundation of your purpose. When we walk in faith, we come to understand that nothing we face is in vain. There is always a greater plan unfolding, even when we can't see it. Faith gives us the courage to face the unknown, to keep going even when the next step is unclear. It teaches us that our journey isn't defined by the immediate circumstances, but by the destination we are heading toward. Faith assures us that even though the storm may rage, the sun is still shining somewhere on the horizon, and we are being carried toward that place of peace and fulfillment. Through faith, we are able to persevere because we are not doing it alone. It is through our faith that we build resilience, not by relying on our own strength, but by drawing on the infinite power of God that works within us. Faith allows us to tap into a source greater than ourselves, one that enables us to endure far beyond what we thought possible. It shifts our perspective, reminding us that we are not victims of circumstance, but victors in the making. With faith, we begin to see challenges as stepping stones, not obstacles. Each challenge we face is another opportunity to prove to ourselves how strong we really are, how capable we are of overcoming and growing. Faith transforms our view of hardship, allowing us to see beyond the pain and into the purpose of what we are enduring. As we continue to walk by faith, we develop a resilience that becomes unshakable. The more we trust, the more we discover that we are capable of standing tall in the face of adversity, of pressing forward when others would falter. Faith builds a foundation that is unmovable regardless of how fierce the storms of life may be. It gives us the strength to keep moving, to keep fighting, and to keep believing even when everything in us wants to give in. Faith gives us the power to get back up every time we fall, to rise stronger, more determined, and with a deeper sense of purpose. The journey may be hard, but through faith we will endure. Faith is the cornerstone of resilience. It is the force that strengthens us in the face of adversity. The inner power that pushes us beyond our limits when everything else seems to be falling apart. With faith, we are not defined by the obstacles we face, but by the courage and strength we summon to overcome them. Faith teaches us that our struggles are not signs of defeat, but opportunities for growth and transformation. It is through faith that we are shaped, refined, and prepared for the greatness that lies ahead. So no matter what challenges come your way, hold fast to your faith, for it will lead you to a place of strength, peace, and ultimate victory. When you stand firm in your faith, you will find that no storm is too strong, no battle is too tough, and no dream is too distant. You are resilient, you are capable, and through faith, you will unlock your God-given potential. Keep believing, keep pressing forward, and let your faith carry you to places you never thought possible.